not there right now. Go back to the channel. So today I'm going to do something on my 2020 Triumph Street Triple 765 RS. And if you see here, I've got the lower cowl that goes underneath the belly pan. And what I'm going to do is I've got a chip here. This thing takes a lot of abuse. I got some scuffs here, but I just cleaned it up in the sink. It's nice and shiny. And what I'm going to do is I hope this comes out looking okay. It's probably gonna look a little flashy, but that's okay. I'm kind of going for that. I have some decals that I bought off a seller on eBay. They have lots of decals for older models, but when you get to the 765, the 2019 and up, I think it is, they change. So no one did it. Well, this guy went and bought this piece so he could do this. I was super happy because I've been talking to him on the phone about it. And the seller is Twisted Melon Designs. It says Think Bike. Gave you a couple extra stickers. Got a couple extra Street Triple stickers. And as you can see, I'm doing this in a Union Jack. So it has a couple different ones. This one, I think this one goes up in the front here. Maybe up here somewhere, in the very front. I think that's where it goes. I'm really not sure. I'm really not looking for that. The two I want to do are the two right here. And you can see there's a cutout, and this is supposed to fit just right now. That ain't right. Let me see. It's this one. Okay. So looks like it's just right. There's a cutout. It's all one piece. He told me that he does it as a dry install, but I'm a little shaky about that. So we're going to go ahead and do it the wet install. We're going to use some Windex. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean it up with some alcohol. What I have here is I've got a couple of paper towels. Get one of these paper towels. And I have a heat gun too, just in case I feel like I need to kind of heat it up and get it on there. This alcohol gets used a lot out in the garage. There's a lot of stuff all over it. So, okay, we're just going to take a little bit of alcohol and we're going to wipe the surface down nice and clean. Now, it's only got two little red decals here, and there's some indication that that may be lacquered over. And people said that they've taken decals off and there was a lacquer over, or a line where there was a lacquer image, sort of. But I'm not going to take them off because who cares? So I'm just going to go right over top of them. So I'm just going to clean this all up with alcohol and give it a second to dry. Dries pretty quickly. One thing you can do, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do it, is I'm going to heat this decal up because they do get some bends in it. So I'm going to put the heat gun on a low heat. And I'm just going to come in here and just mildly warm it up. Just to get it warm. I tried to put it out in the sun, but even though I'm in Florida, it's not a very sunny day. So it's windy. But it's not very sunny, it's overcast. So we're going to go ahead and just heat this thing up a little bit. There's a little, you can see there maybe, where it's kind of bunched up where that came like that, I don't know. So I'm just going to heat the back of it up too. Okay. Finishing up the high, come back here a little bit. Heats up very quickly, so you don't want to shrink it. It's not a shrinky dink. Okay, so we're going to set this down. And we're going to go ahead and take some alcohol. And before we do that, we're just going to verify our placement here. Looks like it's right about there. And, yep. So I'm going to go ahead and take this Windex. Just kind of lightly get it down. And then I'm going to peel the backing of this off. Start from one of these ends. Start from this side. And again, so we're going to go ahead and just pull this off. And again, the guy said he did it dry. And there's different ways to do that, but I kind of prefer not to do it dry because I don't do this for a living. He's probably better at it than I am, and some of you are better at it than I am, and some of you are worse. And for those that are equal or worse, I say do the wet method. Okay, so we kind of got that. See, it's already wanting to stick to it, so it's going to go on there like that. But before we do this, it's very tacky, very, very tacky. We're going to go ahead and hit this just lightly. Make sure your fingers are clean. We're going to go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here. Get it to come off my fingers. Just trying to find the right place to put it. And that's where the wet method really is nice because it's quite forgiving. So I'm just kind of laying this down. This little mark that was messed up in the packaging I'm a little concerned about, but once I use the heat gun, that's where the heat gun really comes in handy. It'll let you take some of the boo-boos out. Okay, we kind of got it, so we're just going to hold onto it as best we can. Push this, grab a paper towel, try to push the water out. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit probably for a day or something, just to let it really tack up. So just kind of pushing the water out, just following the lines. And again, this is not like on top of the bike, so it's on the bottom of the bike, so this one's a little easier. If you got any issues, you probably ain't going to see it, to be quite honest. Just kind of following the lines. It's pretty thick decal, so it's wanting to bubble up a little bit. Just find the line and run with it. Need to overall just kind of go down a little bit. Don't worry, the tack will come back. You'll lose a little bit of that, seemingly lose a little bit of that tack because of the Windex, the glass cleaner here, but it will come back to you. It won't be gone forever. So just kind of roll this off. Kind of got a weird shape to it, so you got to kind of just work it around. Just keep working out the water, making sure everything's pressed down pretty good. Someone in my house keeps opening and closing doors. It's because I am not allowed to do a video without having interruptions of some sort. Okay, so you can see it's on there pretty good. There's a couple little like buckles in the paint or in the decal. We're just going to keep going back over them and work them down. I'll probably go ahead and leave it sit for a minute and go over to the other side. And once it is a little bit better here, I will take the heat gun. The heat gun on the vinyl is excellent. It really makes it forgiving. It'll almost, well, it'll kind of stretch a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Set this side. Spray this. this down. Go ahead. It's kind of got a little cut in there, so be careful when you're peeling it back, you don't rip it. Just go slow. Just lightly. Just lightly, don't go hog wild. Same thing, I'm just going to go ahead and get this thing kind of sort of where we're at. I'm going to look at the other side and see some of the gaps that I have, see if I can get it to match. It's pretty close down here. I will leave a link for this seller in the description below. Help you find him if you're interested. He's got a bunch of different patterns, and I think you can pretty much do any color if you're just looking for a color. And I think you could probably just do about anything you want, to be honest. You can tell that I'm moving it quite a bit because I wasn't happy with where it was at. I did some carbon fiber on some parts recently. You can see that video as well. And the vinyl on that really stretches the heat. So really, but you really got to kind of, I need to come down with this. You really got to kind of play with it for a while and mess up and learn how exactly to do it. But I don't have that availability with this because I only have one. So I went with the Union Jack, even though I am an American. I'm proud of it. I do have a British bike, so I kind of like having that Union Jack on the bottom. No different than if you got a Suzuki, people do the whatever the Japanese flag is. Can't remember what that's called. Rising Sun or something. Some kids in the background making noise. tell, the way I've had to take this off a couple times is why I did not want to do it dry. This side is being a pain in the ass, quite honestly. This side is looking good. I'm going to take the heat gun to this side. Let that side sit for now. Get it hot, lets the vinyl stretch a little bit, helps get rid of those bubbles and any folds that you might have. And then what I'll do is I'll let this, once I'm happy with it, I'll let it sit for a day or two, and I'll come back in probably tomorrow, halfway through that, and I will heat it up again and just roll everything out. Come back over here to the other side. There's some of these spots. In here, I got some folds. I'm gonna go ahead and try to heat it up and see if that fixes it. Just keep the gun moving. You don't want to focus in on one spot because you could make it shrink. Yeah, that's working. Heat gun. Oh, I think they're $20 or $30 at Home Depot or Lowe's. Get one on Amazon probably for 10. But they are a lifesaver when you're doing this kind of stuff. They really help a lot. Put some decal on my wife's Jeep, the blue Jeep, and it wasn't a real hot day, and she came back the next day, had turned the windshield wipers on in the morning because she had to, and some of the letters came up, so I heated them up real good and squeegeed them back out, and it fixed it. Now it looks fine. Just don't tear it. Be very gentle with it. You don't want to if you, like I just pushed it a minute ago and I had like a little crease form, don't overwork it because you will tear it, especially if it's warm. Maybe push it back, just play with the little air bubbles under there. And if you get any little tiny pinhole, little tiny ones, well, one thing is you won't see it because underneath, and the other thing is vinyl is somewhat breathable, so it will usually work its way out. And if it bothers you or it doesn't work its way out, you can take a pin and pop out like a zip kind of, and it will go away. You could probably put this back on the bike and go for a ride within a couple hours, but I wasn't planning on riding the bike to work tomorrow, so I'm just gonna let it sit. I find it's just better. You know, you're hitting speeds of whatever, however fast you plan on going, and it's a lot of wind. So let the thing adhere, let it cure, so to speak. And that's it, guys. There you go. There's the belly pan. Looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm gonna let it sit. There's some air bubbles right there. This will come out. Try to do it in a nice lit up place where you can see really well. Hold it up to the sun and look. But overall, it came out pretty good. I'm gonna come back to it tomorrow, like I said, and heat it up. Push all like any other spots out that need to be taken care of. But for right now, it looks fantastic. So, and then I'm gonna install it. Once I get it installed, I'm gonna come back to you. We're gonna take a look at the bike, and that's gonna be it. So stay tuned. Okay, one thing I did not do is I didn't do this little piece, and this little piece appears to go right up here, so we're going to go ahead and just do it. I'm going to wipe this off. Like that. Let it dry. Hit it with the gun a little bit. It does help to heat the part up a little bit too, to be honest. Heat this up. Same thing. You got to be really careful because this just got hot quickly. So pull this off. Try to touch as little of it as you can with your hand. Okay. Go ahead and put this. Gun's about to fall off. Too high. I didn't even know this was a part of the kit, to be honest. It's kind of difficult to get this situated. A little bit. Just make sure any creases, any crevices or whatever, you push everything down in there pretty good. There you go. That's it. Okay, I'll come back to you when it's installed. Hey guys, well, I'm back. So I gave it a full day and looked at it today. I didn't have to heat it up and try to smooth anything out. Everything looked pretty good. So I got the bike cleaned up. I got the cowl piece back installed. I'm going to take you down. We're going to take a look and see what she looks like right here. And there you go. There she is. That's the first time I've actually looked at it from afar. I just got done wiping the bike down, and after I put it on, so it looks pretty good, I think. Taking you around, I think she looks pretty good. Take you in for a close-up here in a second. So the colors, the red's pretty close, I think. For the most part, it's pretty close. It's far enough away to where I don't think it really, the red clashes too much. The blue and the white's a little weird, I guess, but it is supposed to draw attention. So, and I think that's what it did. I think it's doing a pretty good job of drawing attention. You can see here. We'll see how it holds up. Hopefully it holds up pretty good. Just a little something to do. Wasn't very expensive. It's about $28, I think. 28 or 35 or somewhere in there. So all in all, pretty good. Pretty happy with it. And I really appreciate you guys checking me out. I got my nerd glasses on right now. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys checking me out. Please hit like and subscribe. Please hit that little bell so you see when I got new videos out. Also check me out on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Evolving Male. And I really appreciate it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, peace out.